What does diversity mean to you?
A variety of like mentalities, a variety of backgrounds that kind of like just begin to like cultivate people and like craft them to who they are specifically.
Things that come to mind for diversity are like economic background, socioeconomic status, the communities one comes from, both geographic and international, cultural backgrounds, gender, sexuality, race, ethnicity, preferences, and hobbies.
List terms of the word diversity is just like what makes people different backgrounds and different thought processes in terms of like when we talk about it in Georgetown, I think it's in the context of an intellectual and academic community.
Those classes that do have a focus on diversity, I feel like even if students may go in there with a false or misunderstanding of what that class is going to withhold, I still think that being in that atmosphere and being in a place where you're going to be forced to have conversation about subject matter that you may feel uncomfortable about, and differing vantage points from people from different areas and different backgrounds with different stories, I think that is growth.
The original intention of the diversity requirement, I believe, at least had some linkage to the idea of social justice and equality. How it is actually being implemented, I'm not really sure, because at the moment it is implemented in such a way that each department just decides which courses they're gonna count as the diversity courses.
You teaching a class that meets both the diversity global and diversity domestic requirement, do you believe that students who leave your class have a empirical understanding of what diversity is and an understanding of other people's cultures?
No.
I'm not really convinced by that argument, that if you're just talking about different people or different settings, that actually is the kind of a diversity course that we envisioned.
But I do believe they have a better understanding of their own capacity for prejudice and racism and bias.
Biggest problem is a lot of people seem to believe that they already know what diversity means and what it is supposed to serve. And I'm not at all sure whether there is that kind of a informed consensus about the topic.
I think that these classes, they do more good than harm.
Requirement, the international diversity class didn't really influence my understanding of others' lived experiences. It was a history class, but I'm hoping that the domestic diversity class will be a lot more relevant.
They do promote an idea of family and of communal uplift, but I feel like that could be heightened and intensified maybe.
My freshman floor was a lot more diverse than my high school. This is year 15 of Catholic school for me, so not a whole lot of religious difference. Catholic school means private school. It was pretty white.
And I expected with the international community, with kind of the cosmopolitan makeup of the city, that we'd have a lot more of that at this school, and it's been a bit of a disappointment to see how homogenous, especially certain areas of the school, are.
In order to make itself more diverse, it could begin by doing something in its own local community. I'm a DC native, so my notion of this diversity requirement, I want to see Georgetown play in its own front yard.
Your own campus, if those in minority groups had a little bit more assistance, I think at times, as opposed to just having the glaring look at it and seeing that, what the numbers are.
Lower moderate income means need to be much better represented on this campus.